In the fall of 1959, incoming President Tillman Smith said the college must be oriented to the future. Quoting Teddy Roosevelt, he said, "The only safely progressive man is the one who can look far into the past." What he had in mind was a safely progressive college that would build on its own solid past. The cultural battles of the previous decade resulted in lower student enrollments and higher budget deficits. Smith, a public school administrator from Eureka, Illinois, had work to do. The president immediately laid to rest the persistent discussion of again becoming a four-year college. Present plans call for the development of the strongest possible junior college program, he said. President Smith's administrative experience and strong relational skills were supported by two things his predecessor had wished for: a Mennonite Board of Education that set policies instead of micromanaging, and a local board of overseers. Smith got both. In January 1960, new boards for both Hesston and Goshen met. Leading Hesston's board was 1911 alumnus Alan Erb. A year later, local entrepreneur and 1933 graduate Lyle Yost became board chair. Academy numbers were dropping, in part because Mennonite communities on whom the academy depended were building their own high schools. The academy was the only option in Hesston. Then the two neighboring school districts, Newton and Mount Ridge, motivated by the rich tax base of Hesston Corporation, moved to annex Hesston into their districts. Those threats stirred Hestonians to action. They quickly formed a new school district of their own. The class of 1963 was the last to graduate from the academy. The class of 1964 was the first to graduate from the public high school. After 56 years, the academy was history. At the same time, the college was strengthening its college curriculum in order to gain accreditation by the NCA. It was a great day in the spring of 1964 when President Smith and Dean Peyton Yoder called from Chicago to say it was a done deal. An exuberant Leland Bachman, the business manager, told the campus community that NCA accreditation was the greatest educational honor of its entire history. The next day was declared a holiday. Lyle Yost, board chair, met Smith and Yoder in Kansas City and flew them home in Hesston Manufacturing Company's twin-engine Beechcraft Baron. A large, enthusiastic crowd greeted them. Students sang Progress Indomitable, accompanied by the high school pep band. After a round of speeches and congratulations, they made their way to Hesston via Newton in a large police-escorted motorcade. Paul Friesen's art students crafted the float which led the convoy. At Hesston, the crowd marched up Main Street with Vernon Nichols High School Marching Band in the lead. All three regional television stations carried the news. The next fall, October 1965, there was a parade of a different sort. A human brigade of students, faculty, and staff carried books from the top floor of the administration building to shelves in the new Mary Miller Library. Operation Transfer achieved the orderly transport of 15,000 books, magazines, and some furniture in under 2 hours. After 47 years, the third-floor library and reading room had been flagged by NCA visitors as a very serious deficiency. Dean Yoder declared the new library a beautiful, practical, and dignified home for Hesston's modest but growing library. The next spring, 1966, the Division of Nursing was born, and in the fall, the first 21 students were registered. These nursing students were among the 66 new students, a 23% increase over the previous year's enrollment. In 1967, the state of Kansas added its stamp of approval by accrediting the School of Nursing. Dean Peyton Yoder said that in view of the obstacles to be overcome, the successful establishment of the nursing program seems to be no less than providential. The fall of 1967 brought a record number of 440 students, a 19.5% increase over the previous year. Nearly half were from east of the Mississippi River, formerly considered Goshen and Eastern Mennonite territory. President Smith declared, "Since Hesston is the only junior college of the Mennonite Church, students come from the east as well as the west." The school in the west for the west had become a college for the entire church. President Smith's years at Hesston were very productive. And apparently we have Smith to thank for the now current term, the Hesston Experience.